If you're new to AI, you may not realize just how important and impactful it can be in your daily life. And I just want to share a personal example. So, a few months ago, my mother had surgery, pretty serious surgery. And a few days afterwards, she was having some kind of unexpected kind of side effects. And she wasn't sure what was going on. How concerned should she be? Should she take a different type of medication, possibly? Should she go to the emergency room? And so what I was able to do is to upload her medical records from the surgery into ChatGPT in their entirety and ask very specific medical questions and get very specific insights, which gave recommendations that made sense logically. I'm obviously wasn't going to blindly just go along with whatever was said, but it logically made sense after carefully analyzing the outputs. And it just so happened that we followed that advice, and it did relieve some of the pain she was enduring. When the surgeon finally called her back sometime later, the advice the surgeon gave was consistent with what AI gave. That's just one example of many. I do the same with my pets as far as veterinary care. I upload their records, even radiology, and get on the fly advice late at night if there's a problem that inevitably is consistent with veterinarian advice that comes later. There are a lot of use cases. This is one of many. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm comfortable with my private data and that of my family, going into AI models and giving advice. Now, I do use a semi-private model myself, so there are some layers of protection, but honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I would use it in just the normal model that everyone else is using through the app itself. I'm not really concerned, and perhaps I should be, but the usefulness of AI in its current state is profoundly impactful, more so than you may realize. It could be as simple as you walk into a store to buy a gift for someone and you're not sure what to get them, and you take a picture and you input in AI who you're planning on getting the gift for, what the occasion is, something about the person, send a snapshot of what you're looking at. It will help you choose. I mean, there's just a lot of decision making. Take a picture of a sign in another language and it translates it into your language for you. I could go on and on. The use cases are nearly infinite. And so when we look at innovations, when we look at what DeepSeek was able to do for cheaper than anyone else that we're aware of so far, a model of that magnitude, and what OpenAI and ChatGPT has been able to do, and CoPilot and Gemini and others, I mean, this is actually life-changing. It's very impactful. And with innovations over coming months and years, it can be entirely more profound than we even realize in terms of what it can contribute. So that is why AI is so important to so many of us and to society as a whole. Of course, it can be used in many ways that are good, and it can be used in many ways that are bad. Fortunately, there are guardrails that do provide a degree of protections for kind of bad intention use. Of course, it could also be used by governments in ways that we may not want it used. So there's good and bad that comes with it. But if it's used for good, there is tremendous amount of upside for humanity overall. It could be, as simple as someone that is trying to make a recipe and or trying to make something good for dinner and they only have 5 or 6 or 7 ingredients, and you plug those into AI and say, hey, what can I make that's great, that tastes like this with these ingredients, and how do I do it? And it'll tell you. The list goes on. So what do you use AI for? Just out of curiosity. Personally, I use it for almost everything.